The feelings for her colleague became so strong she had decided to leave. But then she turned around. The emotions are intense, and it's hard to keep a clear head. It's not unusual to be infatuated with a colleague, even when you're in a committed relationship. It started with a few extra fun chats at the coffee machine. When they were assigned to the same project, the flirty tone evolved into a mutual infatuation. It was a real crisis for me. I had a partner and a child. We'd been together for almost 10 years and had a 2-year-old daughter when I suddenly developed feelings for someone at work. When the company hired a new male sales rep, she never imagined he'd be the one to make her lose her head in an overwhelming crush. I had never longed to leave the relationship I was in. I was mostly content, even though life had become quite routine, especially with a little one at home. Tina says she noticed the chemistry with her new coworker almost immediately. There was something about our vibe. It just flowed so easily. We were both outgoing and shared the same interests. They got to know each other very well, maybe too well. What started as playful banter at the coffee machine and during meetings eventually developed into strong feelings. For both of us, Ken, says Tina. She explains that the shock over her own emotions almost overwhelmed her. I wasn't the kind of person who fell for someone at work. Remember, many of us spend more time at work than at home. The workplace brings us close to like minded people, which makes it easier to bond and build emotional connections. Feeling a strong connection with a colleague isn't uncommon. It's likely you share many traits. Many of us should at least acknowledge the possibility of developing feelings for a coworker. That way, we won't be so shocked or overwhelmed if it happens. I've seen that many people who fall for a colleague interpret it as meant to be because the feelings are so intense and unexpected. But if you're prepared for the possibility, you can approach it more rationally. Being in a relationship already makes the situation more complicated, and workplace relationships, even between two single people, can be tricky due to dynamics, secrecy, and professionalism. It gave me energy. In the beginning, I felt the flirty tone gave me a little boost. I thought it was just good chemistry, nothing more. I didn't expect it to grow into something bigger, says Tina. Looking back, I now see it wasn't so strange it turned into infatuation. There was something forbidden about it. It felt like a different world compared to the one at home. Routine and dullness versus something new and exciting. Tina says she started dressing up more at work. She looked forward to evening events where she knew he'd be. And when they finally kissed in a taxi line, it felt exactly as electric as she had imagined. After that first kiss, it felt like there was no turning back. A line had been crossed for both of us. Her colleague was also in a relationship, but without kids. When they met again at the office, the flirty energy continued. A few days later, she gathered the courage to tell him how she felt. When he said he felt the same, I felt like my world collapsed, but also like a new life was waiting. It was chaos inside me, says Tina, who started struggling to sleep and eat. I think I thought about whether to stay or go nearly every minute of the day. I was exhausted. No easy choice. It's rarely a simple decision to know whether to stay or leave when you develop feelings for someone else. Still, she believes it's important to try to sort out your thoughts and look ahead, especially when children are involved. What will it be like to have your kids only half the time? That's something you have to consider because that's the reality. Infatuation pushes those uncomfortable thoughts away. As a psychologist, she's seen many confused, infatuated men and women face this dilemma. Should I stay or should I go? Is there ever a clear answer? Some people have been emotionally checked out for a long time, and the new crush confirms what they already knew. Others are totally unprepared. They weren't even unhappy in their relationship. A rush of emotions. It's always important to sort through your thoughts. Infatuation is like being high. It's hard to believe the intensity will fade, but it always does. Eventually, everyday life returns, even with a new partner. That doesn't mean leaving is the wrong choice, but it's a big decision and shouldn't be made impulsively. I'm in love with my coworker. Should I leave my partner? What can actually indicate it's right to choose the new love? The same principles apply as in any relationship. Do you feel like you've met a soulmate? Someone who sees you, accepts you, and brings emotional safety? If so, and if that's missing in your current relationship, it might be right to leave. But if all you feel is emotional chaos, breathe. Take a step back. That's what Tina decided to do. Talking to a professional. I sought help from a psychologist because I didn't want to burden my partner with my thoughts. And I didn't dare tell my friends. I was afraid they'd judge me, but I was also afraid they wouldn't, that they'd encourage me to go for it. And I might just do it, Tina says honestly. Talking to someone neutral was incredibly helpful. That's when I realized this wasn't so unusual or dangerous. I hadn't done anything more than kiss him, and that mattered a lot to me. I hadn't crossed the ultimate line. I wanted help to make the right decision, Tina explains. She stopped at the kiss. Did the feelings fade? Did she lose the nerve? It's hard to explain, she says. Talking with a psychologist helped her put words to the emotions and gave her a sense of control. It wasn't so forbidden anymore, and not so shameful. And I felt proud that I hadn't gone further. I began to understand why I became so infatuated in the first place. As she talked it through, it became clear what she had with her partner and child was too valuable to give up. It's not like my partner was a bad guy, but I crave attention and affection. With a toddler and the daily grind, I felt less attractive, and it was overwhelming to be seen again in that way, she explains. A difficult decision. She chose to end the flirtation and not take it any further. It was tough, and I felt I needed to take further action, so I changed jobs, says Tina. She hasn't regretted it. It felt like a new beginning. I really enjoy my new workplace, and now I'm more prepared for how workplace crushes can happen, and that it doesn't mean it's true love, says Tina, who is still with her partner. I haven't told him about the romance. I still feel a little guilty, but I'm also proud that it didn't become more than it was. For me, staying in my relationship was the right choice. I don't feel we're finished, and I truly want the life we've built together.